Should we do one of them little desk tours? I'll tell you something, it ain't going to be like a Peter McKinnon desk tour, I'll tell you that. Hello, you gorgeous people. I just thought I'd jump on and wish you all a wonderful new year, in fact. Just in case I don't get to do it before the 31st. It's just like a short video. And I want to thank you guys for all of your support with this channel in 2023. Not just this channel, also the Dare setup, you know, the Dare photography setup over on Instagram. If you're not following us there, please do. So it's at I Dare to Shoot on Instagram. We've got a great little community that's sprung up over there, guys. If you want to be featured on the wall, then hashtag all your images on Instagram with hashtag I Dare to Shoot. It's not easy to be featured on the wall, and we've created it that way for a reason. Like, gives you something to aim for, and that can only be good for us as photographers. It supports us to grow, right? Having that standard and that level to aim for, to shoot for. Promise you, hashtag your images, use it as a support, and it won't be long before you're hitting a few bullseyes, I promise you. Jump into the show notes at the bottom of this YouTube video, as you're looking at it on YouTube, and I'll punch a few links into there as well. I said I was gonna say thanks. Did I actually say thanks? Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support, guys. It really does mean the world to me. I don't take it for granted. It's a bit of a short video though. Do you want to have a dig around my workspace? Like a street photographer's desk space. I'll tell you something, it ain't going to be like a Peter McKinnon desk tour, I'll tell you that. But let me switch to a GoPro or... Well, I'll switch to this camera, which is a recent purchase of mine. It's an Insta360. This has pretty much replaced my GoPro for the POV parts of my videos. But check this out. You can dismount this camera. Well, that is the camera. It's pretty much the smallest fucking camera that ever existed, right? This is magnetic as well, so you can pretty much, hold up. You can attach it to pretty much anything. So when I'm out on the streets and I want to include myself in the shot, get out of the point of view, then I can attach this thing to pretty much anything, and the chance of it being stolen are pretty minimal, right? It's tiny, this thing. You can put it back in the mount here, and you've got a little LCD that flips up, turns into a great little vlogging camera. I mean, is that rock and roll or what? Right, so we're gonna flip to this camera. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, bosh, we've flipped. Actually, so we'll flip that round. So that's what I'm shooting video on, and that's what I shoot a lot of my street photography on, which is the Fuji XT4. It's crop sensor, it's got a 16mm lens on it, which is basically the equivalent of 24mm pretty much. Right, so the desk space. There it is in all its wonderful glory. Let's jump over here for what's the it's a bit messy, isn't it? See, if I'd known, I would have. Pentax ME, which is pretty much one up from, it's a film camera, one up from the camera that David Bailey used when he shot Jim Shrimpton in New York in the early 60s, which was a shoot that pretty much changed Vogue forever. I would go so far as to say it's one of my favourite shoots, if not my favourite portrait shoots of all time. I'll put a link to it, guys, in the show notes. What else we got here? What we got here? Fuji X Pro 3. I bought that with the XT4. I love this little camera, but the LCD, I think the cable, a wire's come loose in it or something, and I need to send that bugger off to be fixed. I do miss this camera. It looks great as well. It's got that retro feel to it, and it's got this beautiful little click when you hit that shutter, which I miss because I'm a weirdo. Canon 5D Mark II. I bought this about a year ago. Just out of nostalgia, really, because I was shooting weddings for years and and events, and I was, well, actually, pretty much for the last 7 years of shooting weddings and events, I was on a Mark III, Canon 5D Mark III with 24mm, 35mm. There's a 24mm on that, and I do miss it. It's a big old bugger. It weighs a ton. Well, it does these days. I didn't really notice it when I was using it. Couple of lenses. This is a 1.4. This is like 35mm, equivalent of 50. Gain crop sensor. This is 23mm lens, which is the equivalent of 35mm pretty much. I don't know what's in there. What's in there? Like little weird stickers to stick on things. The Ricoh GR3, which I bought around about a year ago, and this sensor just punches way above its weight. I mean, I just bought this to shoot out and out street photography, but I've been shooting street portraits with this, and they're pretty damn good, I think. Flash gun. It's kind of a cheapy old flash gun. That's about 70 quid, because I sold my last flash gun, and then I got back into weddings for a bit after COVID, and I needed one just for the back end of the day. I don't like using flash. I don't like flash street photography either. I admire Bruce Gilden for like sticking to his guns and innovating and just being aggressive with his work, and he's great. He's a proper character as well. I'll listen to his interviews all day long, but it's not really my thing, that kind of a photography. I respect it, it's not my thing. What else we've got? These just little mics for recording sound with smartphone. Quality on it is pretty good, actually. This is a wrist strap for the Fuji, and I've been using those wrist straps for years rather than like having a camera around my neck. I just don't like it. I'd rather, when I'm done, I don't need to rest up. When I'm done, it goes in the bag. Liam, nice one. Goggles, I don't know what they're for. Another little, what's that? Little clip. Well, I've got tons of little clips and brackets, always come in handy for when I'm out shooting video. This is like a little snake tripod which I can bend and twist around. So I put the Insta360 on. Tripods, spare SD cards, stationery, spare wires, leads, cleaning stuff. Straps, the inserts, the bags, all of that kind of stuff. Harness that I used to use for my GoPro, still use it sometimes, so again, harness, put it, this is pretty cool. It's like that. 2 cameras hanging from there. I used to use this when I shot events. 2 cameras hanging, feel like Clint Eastwood. Doodle-doodle-doo. Epson printer. Now this is for paper only. I mean, I'm not creating prints with this, but let me tell you now, this is an eco printer, and I print something on it most days, and I've had this for about 18 months, and the print levels on it have dropped hardly at all. I mean, this is great for printing little zines and day-to-day admin stuff. This thing, sometimes I want to shoot down on the desk, this tripod here, and then I can move it about and down if I need to. Union Jack box, which was a gift years ago. It's got like little keepsakes in it and other little odds and ends. The desk itself was all a little bit makeshift, and it has been since I moved in a year or so ago, and it needs a little design or something, doesn't it? It's coming. It needs some shelves. iPad Pro. Listen, I work with Macs. I'm a sucker for it. Yes, I fell for it. I'm one of those guys. Never let me down. My editing relative to prints has always been pretty accurate. If I buy a new Mac, I test prints, etc. This is always the main box that needs ticking for me. If my photography is looking good, job done. So at the moment, last year or so, I've been with this Mac Studio and a Mac display, and I went for the nano texture display rather than the glossy display. Big mistake, don't bother with it, guys. I'll tell you, just go with a standard glossy one. Like, why? It just doesn't clean well at all. It's a pain in the ass. We got in here postcards, postcards of my work. It's a notebook for everything really, brainstorming, journaling. I have these smaller journals for just carrying in my back pocket when I'm out and about shooting, and then I have these larger journals that I migrate everything to. I don't keep a daily journal. I pretty much write every day, but I don't keep a daily diary type journal anymore. That's something I miss. It's almost like a meditation. It's something I miss doing that, and it is something I definitely want to get back into. So here's an example of one of those here. And you can see it's like the diary of a madman. Wallet, water bottle, hydration, tea pigs, don't ask. Current reading material. I do also have photography books on that side. On the wall, this wall was almost like CSI a few months, but it still looks pretty crazy now. And I would use that wall to plan out my zine, the way of the street photographer, which is here. I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. If you haven't bought a copy yet, grab yourself a copy. I promise it's going to be like your photography, street photography Bible. You're going to love it, I promise you. Box of tricks. Oh, this is everything and everything, like little bolts and air blower, more mounts, battery chargers, more memory cards, all of this kind of thing. Can't find something, it's liable to be in there, needs tidying up. One thing I do keep tidy and always have done, because I'm a messy pup, me, is my images that are stored on my hard drives. Oh, by the way, did I show you? These are the hard drives I use. I'm using at the moment. They're tiny little things, Samsung. I think they're 2 terabyte each. They're tiny. I have one on site, one off site. I know these days it's not so important in terms of you can back up everything online, right? But for me, it's always important to have that physical hard drive. I have everything on. I have everything on one at home, and then I have one that's off-site as well. Or at the very least, you know, I take it with me when I go. If I'm going away for a few days, I take that with me. So if anything does happen, I'm backed up, rock and roll. This is messy, isn't it? Oh, these are our little handout brochures for the workshop in January. It's going to be in London, by the way, at the Photobook Cafe in Shoreditch. Sign yourself up for that, I promise you're going to love it. Prints, test prints. Oh, Jimmy the stapler says hello. My contact lenses, aftershave, you never know when you're going to need it, and these shades. I'll be back. Pretty much that's it, isn't it? Outro. So that's my desk space for what it's worth. Guys, like I said, thank you so much for all your support. Please subscribe to the channel here if you've not subscribed already. It really does mean a lot to me. I've got some really juicy stuff coming up in the new year, and I know you're going to benefit from subscribing. Turn on the little bell, the notification thing, you know what's going on. Hit the like button. Let's get on with it, 2024. Yeah!